Look, I see matches in the kingdom. I see hunters slaying demons. I see fire on this earth coming down like Hiroshima. I see prophets rising up, prophesying scriptures cut. I see Christ, he coming back, and he black, he look like us. I see it, I see it, I see it.
We are not a hate group. We are not affiliated with any other Israelite group. Israel United in Christ is a nonviolent Bible-based movement. We do not advocate or condone any acts of violence against any race, ethnicity, or gender. We advise that if anyone hears or knows of any plots to cause harm to anyone or to break the laws of the land, you must contact the proper authorities to bring awareness to any possible threat as stated in Leviticus chapter 5, verse 1.
Please, thank you. Yes, sir. Hey, Shalom Israel, Most High in Christ bless. Welcome to the Late Show on Thursday. Precept upon precept. We're your host. I'm Captain Shem.
Officer Matthew. Officer Mikael.
Officer Micah.
All praise to the Most High. And with that, we're going to, our format, we're going to transition right to Officer Micah and the Watchman Report. Take it away, Officer Micah.
Hey, Shalom Israel, Most High in Christ bless. Okay, make sure my forehead was shining. All right, let's go ahead and get right into the articles. Hey, lose your hair, save money on shampoo. 7 gang members convicted of breaking into 50 cars across Cherokee County. Look at them, y'all. The Negras strike again, and they facing RICO charges. Hey, the scriptures say, thou shalt not steal. Jake ain't got it yet. Next article. Around 350 Pakistanis were on migrant boats that sank off Greece, and many still missing, officials say. They ain't talking about how many our people were thrown overboard on them slave ships. They sure as hell can report on these Pakistanis, though. We got a just guide. Florida woman who shot black neighbor through door. Florida woman who shot black neighbor through the door won't face murder charges. Will not. This is CBS News, Caucasian broadcast. You know what Bishop say. All right, last but not least, the reason U.S. response to the Russian rebellion has been decidedly cautious. And that concludes the Watchman Report.
We start our show with the Watchman Report. Y'all check out the articles Officer Micah brought forth because it's going on in the news today. Let's pull up. We always start with the meme, the thumbnail. Officer Mikael, explain this. And by the way, shout out to Officer Mikael. A lot of times I don't get the topic till him until the day before or sometimes the day of. So he does it within hours. So just break it down what we're looking at here.
Hey, all praises to the Most High. So tonight's topic is, oh, what a sick world, the declining decadent ego. So what we have here is the declining U.S. dollar. We also have images of GMOs being, the GMOs because they're messing with our food. In the top corner there, we have a young girl wrapped in the LGBTQ flag. And the sign next to her says, I want trans kids to become trans adults. And in the bottom corner, we actually have some trans adults. And in the midst of all this, we have the black woman twerking in the middle.
Wow. Yeah, shout out to the Writings of the Wall, Captain Mattathias. He showed earlier tonight, those of you who log in to Thursday night show lineup, he showed outside of Elmina Castle, which I went with Captain Mattathias on that trip, as well as Bishop Nathaniel and Captain Shai, Deacon Isaac, is these negresses were twerking right outside where our forefathers were in the South. We went into the South. We went into the place called the Door of No Return, and that's just it was a all eerie feeling, and it felt very dark. And so for them sisters to do that is just straight up disgusting and wicked. They're spitting on their forefathers. Let's start right at the beginning. Let's start with number 1. So the first half of the show is pull that thumbnail up real quick. So we're gonna start off with dealing with what a sick state of this. When I say sick, I'm talking about evil, twisted, and just shock value. The things that go on in the United States of America, led by the so-called white man, is behind it all. Then the second half of the show, after Kingdom Music, we're gonna do Bible verses, break, Kingdom Music, come back, and we're gonna do the declining decadent eagle, because that's what happened to Rome. It was the age of decadence. They fell. We are living in an age of decadence where this so-called white man in America, whose symbol is the eagle, is declining. All right. So let's start right off with number 1. All right. Number 1. I think you got it ordered. Okay, look. So you might say, well, why are we showing a brother with the gold chain on talking about cotton? So we're going to show you that this white man in America, when you read about, give me Revelation chapter 11 real quick. Not only does America do horrible things abroad, okay, in the very breadbasket of America, in the southern states, there is literally slavery going on to this very day. And it's called the 13th Amendment. And we've talked about it before. Many bishops and deacons have had classes on it. But this story, I came across this on the TikTok. I'm not really good with tech, but I figured it out how to navigate a little bit, okay? Read this, Revelation 11. And I'm going to drink this, y'all. It's late. I've got to stay up. Sodom and Egypt. Revelation 11.
Yes, sir. The Revelation chapter 11 and verse 8.
Sorry.
And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city.
Come on.
Which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt.
Sodom and Egypt. Because remember, in Egypt, we were slaves, right? So let's play the TikTok video and let's let the brother tell us. I'm not even going to interrupt at all. You need to hear his experience, because a lot of you black people and Hispanic people, you are completely clueless. That's why you dumb, ignorant black women who twerk don't even realize that you are one fight away, you're one felony away where something like this can happen to you. All right? Watch this.
Slavery exists until I went to prison. See, I can speak about slavery, right? Because I've been a slave. The 13th Amendment abolished slavery unless you've been convicted of a crime.
Sorry.
Do you
go back. Let's just read that, because they put it up there. We don't have to go look for it. Rewind it. If Officer Michael, would you be so kind to read that, because the 13th Amendment they actually posted it, and then we're gonna let him talk. Should be able to.
I did not know slavery exists until I went to prison. See, I can speak about slavery, right? Because I've been a slave. The 13th Amendment.
Pause. So we're gonna read it.
Okay, neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except as a punishment for crime whereof the party shall have been duly convicted, shall exist within the United States or any place subject to their jurisdiction. 13th Amendment, United States Constitution. He was forced to pick cotton in jail.
So y'all hear that? That's the key word. Neither slavery or an involuntary servitude, except that means it is perfectly legal if it falls under the 13th Amendment laws where have been convicted, duly convicted of a crime. Now, there are many black men in this country and Native Americans and men of color who have been unjustly convicted of crimes, and it still happens to this day. We're going to let the whole thing play out.
Abolish slavery unless you've been convicted of a crime. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I got you.
I'm inventory at the age of 17, a slave for the state of Texas to serve 8 years of servitude.
real quick, I'm from Texas, and they got a saying: you come on vacation, you leave on probation. They don't just get you like right with the serious offense. They catch you with probation, and then with probation, they slow roll it. Like, let's say they get you for probation. You got to report to a probation officer. Then you have to pay restitution to this probation officer. And then if you don't do that, they gradually just, that's how they get you into the system. They start slow, and then they may just get you right over the way. But I know that probation, that's a trap.
Watch what I'm telling you, y'all. Those of us who are spiritual, which is everybody in this room, everybody listening, I want you to, as he's talking, because I was imagining myself, right? I want you all to, and this is the sick world we live in right now, okay? I want you to close your eyes if you have to. I want you to imagine, and if you're a woman, imagine that it's your brother or your husband, somebody you really, really love. Make it personal, and I want you to listen and try to make it personal.
A slave for the state of Texas to serve 8 years of servitude in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice.
Now, why you say a slave? Because some people think that, hey, once you're there, you just get a bunk bed, you get a book, and you get to just sit there in boring silence for the rest of your days.
You asked me why I said slavery?
Let's go.
Have you ever seen a nigga pick cotton?
Nah.
Where have you seen a nigga pick cotton at?
Never in my life.
A slave, though.
Oh, slave. Yeah.
Nigga, I was sent to pick cotton. That's why I said.
Oh,
I was
so
slave.
I
was sent to sit.
Pause there. So for all you Negroes out there that say slavery never happened in my lifetime, that's your example right there. That's exactly how slavery happens in your lifetime right now. You can play it.
Cotton. That's why I said.
Oh, so
I was sent to sit. I ain't never seen nothing but a slave pick cotton.
You have actually picked cotton off the cotton plant.
I have picked cotton off the cotton plant. Texas Department of Criminal Justice, you pick cotton off the cotton plant. I go out here to the fields, and this is something me and you would never think exists. Right around the corner here, it's plantations of nothing but cotton. The South Empire was built on cotton, and they hadn't changed it in the 90s. We was here to pick it. And look, when I got to the field, I'm like, I'm not picking that shit, nigga. I'm not no motherfucking slave. They drew their guns. You ask what happened. Yeah. You say what happened. Yeah. Right? Oh, they trained for niggas. Oh, you one of them niggas. You think you ain't gonna pick, huh? Yeah. You think you Kunta, Toby? Roll right up me on them guns, told me get down on my hands and knees or they gonna shoot me. That's what I'm telling you. They got, you are a slave. They have the right to kill you if you pose a threat to leaving this structure. No, damn. This is jail. So I am a slave. If I run, they shoot me in the back.
How many times you thought of running?
None. Well, what you mean?
So let me, at any point, did you feel like, man, if we all get in this together, we can overtake this shit?
That shit sound good, bro. That shit sound good.
So I just want to point out, much like we hear the conversation of a lot of black people, man, I would have never been no slave. I would have never did nothing like that. You got a brother right here. They asked him, how many times you thought about when he said none? When you got a pistol to your face and a choice whether to live or die, pick this cotton or eat the dirt, what you gonna pick? The cotton. That's the one you gonna pick. And all these people that talking about slavery was so long ago, it ain't even that serious. Yeah, you hearing it from the mind of a mouth of a black man in the 21st century that picked cotton as punishment because he was a slave. These prisons are built on slave labor still today. Slavery is still in effect. They call it the judicial system. Go ahead, play it.
To that, right? So to this point here, right? They made me get on the ground. One of them got off the horse.
Stop. He said one of them got off the horse. They said one of them got off the horse. That shows you they're in the position of power. They're the taskmasters. The taskmaster was on the horse with the whips. Now those whips are pistols. And you're not getting beat in your back, you're getting shot in your back. Go ahead, play it.
horse, if I made any moves, you get smoked. They get a free kill. They got notches on their shit from niggas they done killed.
Yeah.
They keeping the score. Do you hear what I'm saying? That's why I say, let's not play with this shit. This is slavery. This is my first day. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
You still a child? Yeah, you still a kid too. You what, 17, 18?
I'm 17.
17.
Like, what the fuck is this? Make me get on my knees.
Pause real quick. Excuse, I should have pre-warned. There are some swears, parents, please, if you had put the kids in the house, in the room, whatever, or just plug their ears. But just, really want, he's about to say some stuff that's coming up. Try to get angry, get mad, because it's going on 2023. It's going on 2022. It's going to go on 2024. Slavery exists. It's really, really exists. Play on.
Cuff me, right? And I'm thinking this, well, at least I get a ride back in the building. I'm out this shit. They got me fucked up. No, that's not happening, bro. Guess what they do? You know, do they whip you? They don't whip you, right? This is what they do. It's hot outside right now, right? Yeah. They have a trailer. Everybody know of a trailer, like they go on the track back of a truck. Yeah. They have a trailer that's enclosed with a fence. A regular fence. Yeah. They handcuff you in this trailer, put you in this trailer like this, no seats in the trailer or nothing, for the rest of the day. Welcome to burning hell. I'm telling you, I've been a slave.
Hey, that sounds like the sweat box that was on the plantation. It is a sweat box. It's the same thing. They're showing you their playbook don't change. This man is the devil. He was the devil, then he's the devil. Now he's going to be the devil in the future.
Hey, just to back you up on that, we went on a tour to Whitney Plantation, and they had a thing called a hot box. And it was exactly like that. It was a big iron box, and any slave, well, they whooped the slave and then put him in there. But for this one, you just got hot beaming sun on you in an iron trailer. So you want a hot iron trailer laying down with the sun beating on you. They don't need to touch you because that sun going to do everything for you.
It actually looked like aluminum, and aluminum holds that temperature way longer than steel or iron.
So y'all he's almost done. I want us to hear this, brother, because.
And that shit ain't nothing to play with. I can tell you this, though. By day 6, I was the best cotton picking nigga they ever had down in that motherfucker. Look here, look here. And I wasn't the only one. It was some stiff cotton picking niggas down there. Do you hear what I'm saying? Hey, nigga, I'm telling you the honest truth, meaning they have perfected on mentally and physically breaking niggas. And listen, if you got 2 out of line, I'm finna get to your story too. Listen, that's them breaking you. After that, if you get 2 out of line, them niggas will whoop you out there. Hey, you fucking it up for everybody. Nigga, if boss man say this nigga ain't acting right, them niggas will whoop you out there. So I went from that to having fights out there. And guess what? Fight, win, lose, or draw.
Pause. So why did, in its truth, this shouldn't shock us, right? Because, you know, even in our jobs today, we still get whipped by our boss, and it's a mental whooping. All right, this don't surprise me at all. It is painful because I'm not gonna stay numb to it. When I listen to that, I say, well, damn, that really could be me, and how would I really react after the first 5 minutes of having my handcuffs behind the back in that trailer? Okay, bam. What about an hour later? Now the sun comes down. I could cry to somebody. No one come to help me. No one come to help me. And that goes to show you that God, the God of the Bible, is the King of terrors. And because we do not want to fall in line and bow down and worship the one true God, he will make us bow to our enemies. Get me Amos in the lower state shall they seek me. Is it 5 and 20? Amos, let me see. Is it Jose? I get them two mixed up. In their 5:15. Thank you. In their affliction. So why are we showing this? Because the first half of the show is labeled the sick world. And these are not Africans, these are not East Indians, these are not Chinese. What you're going to find is the stem and the root of the vast majority of evil in this sick world. You're going to find your friendly neighborhood Caucasian behind it all right? And the Lord is showing us the understanding that we must turn back to him. Read.
The book of Hosea, chapter 5, verse 15.
Come on.
I will go and return to my place.
That's right.
Till they acknowledge their offense.
And our hope and prayer is that we, like that brother, after the show, we're going to find out his name. We can track that through TikTok. We're going to send him a flyer. Because a brother like that, I think he's a young man still. He might have been for a couple years, but listen, 12 days of that will wake your ass up. Brothers understand that we literally live these curses. Read on.
And seek my face. In their affliction, they will seek me early.
And when you're going through hell, what are you looking for? You're looking for some relief from God. You're looking for some salvation, some deliverance from the Most High. So I wanted to start off with that because that was, when I watched that, I said, damn, man, that thing hit me. I was driving. I said, I got that. And if you are a real brother who really, a lot of people just ignore it, man. No, you have to know. What if that was me? What if it was my son? You know how you get really mad if you got children? Just imagine you're a little man. Imagine they locked little man up and you had to, you was looking for him. You couldn't do nothing to help him. And that was your son or my son. That brother could be my brother. This is your brother, his brother. And that happened to him in our lifetime. And everybody here lifetime in this room, even the young ones. All right, so we're going to switch it up. Let's go to number, now, actually, go to number 3 first. And I'm going to show you that if these little niggas here keep doing this, they're going to end up right in the jail, being whooped by the master. Number 3, then we're going to go to number 2. And we don't like to celebrate over the lower state of our people. But we got to talk about it because who I'm most disappointed in is the stupid ass that actually took this picture. That's the one is the stupidest of them all. Okay? And I pray it was a child and not an adult because something's telling me it was an adult. Play.
And first on Fox this morning, St. Louis police are trying to identify and find 5 teens. They are wanted for questioning in last weekend's mass shooting downtown. It left 1 teen dead and 11 others hurt. We want you to take a close look.
Pause real quick. So, and this is forget about the guns for now, right? I want you to look very carefully at their faces. Look at their eyes. Look at them. They're not even old enough to make they're making a decision to ruin their life, whether they know it or not. These are boys. These are misguided boys. These are children. And the reason why they are like that is because God's laws are not being kept by their parents. And I'm not saying there's not a bad apple because there were laws on Deuteronomy. If your son was beyond, you'd bring him to the gates of the city. But these are, give me Isaiah, they're hidden prison houses. Isaiah, is it 42? I'm not the greatest scripture quoter. What's going to happen if young men like this do not, and it's our job, you prophets, it's your job, these flyer missions, these community cleanups, these prophesying on the street corners, these classes, these radio shows. It's our job to get through the mind and the convoluted state of young brothers like this. It's our job. Because the Christian church, every one of them is a Christian. Okay? I would be willing to bet that almost every one of them parents of these young black boys, Israelite boys, are Christians. So the Christian pastors has failed the black community. 100%. Play.
Isaiah chapter 42 and verse 22.
Uh-huh.
But this is a people robbed and spoiled.
And how are we spoiled? Because we are spoiled because we've been left out. Meaning, if you have a perfectly good plate of food, and if you do not refrigerate it gets spoiled, meaning it's of no value anymore. These children are spoiled. they're left out. And when they become infected, they're of no value. Now, I still see value. Officer, we still see value in these young men. As soon as they get a rap sheet, like you said, Officer Micah, as soon as you get in the system, oh, he got one felony. That's why felonies are bad. Misdemeanors alone put you on the radar. Now they got a black boy that's 16, 15 that's got a juvenile felony. If then he gets in the system, now it's hard for him to get a job. He becomes an adult. And every time there's a record that follows him. Read it again.
But this is a people robbed and spoiled.
Robbed of what? Their culture. Their culture is that thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not eat the swine. Okay? Honor thy parents both in word and deed. That's the culture that they were robbed of. Why? Through slavery. In the plight of the black feminism, we did a show on it. The abortion rates right after Roe versus Wade came up, it changed the whole black structure. Welfare, poverty, okay, school to prison pipeline, all these things have destroyed and robbed the Israelites. Good, Officer Matt.
Hey, and why we not blaming the fathers? Because we've been blaming the fathers. Daddy's been taking the blame. Black men been taking the blame. Nobody puts blame on these black women that's raising these boys out there doing all of that stuff. A lot of it's statistically proven black men are the most involved in their children's lives.
We did a show on that. We
Yep.
had proof.
Black men are the most involved in their children's lives. A lot of times it's black women, they use the system against the black man, weaponize their children, and then their children get weapons, and then the white man become their daddy. That's why we're not blaming the fathers.
Hey, so read that again, please.
But this is a people robbed and spoiled.
Robbed and spoiled.
They are all of them snared in holes.
And what are the holes, man? A hole is something. When you get into a hole, now you're in a disadvantage and you got to try to get out. And that's why they call the ghetto a trap. Because it's a trap. From day one, you have to fight the pressure, peer pressure of gangs. You got to fight. You a herb if you don't have sex by 14. These kids are having sex at 11 and 12 years old like it's nobody's business now. Everything is against you. That's why if you, in Chicago, what some of the brothers told me in Chicago, that they have a big party if you make it to 30 years old in Chicago. Like that's like, white people are just, they're getting their second house. We are in holes, man. Read on.
And they are hid in prison houses.
And that's what happens. That's why we showed you the brother. A lot of black people in Texas, in that state, don't even know there's cotton fields and there's slaves through the 13th Amendment who look like them, who might have grown up with them, that are picking cotton in that field. And it's not just cotton they're picking. They're making license plates. They're doing all other laborious work that, and by the way, I think they do get paid like 13 cents a day or something like that goes in their books. Some reprehensibly low rate, okay? Read on.
They are for a prey, and none delivereth.
They are for a prey. That's why we are victims. That's why he was 17 years old. So that means by the time he got processed, he was a true 17. Okay, there's everything. White kids mess up when they're 17 years old. They get all these different chances. But they will throw the book at our children. Okay, 17 years old in that state might be different. Go back to that video. Damn, it's already 10:05. Go back to that video real quick. So this video, I see misguided boys with very dangerous weapons that, you know, we all know as fathers. First thing I would have did if I saw that picture, number one, first thing I'm going to do is this. I'm going to take his phone. I'm going to break it in front of him. Then I'm going to Home Depot and get a solid core door. I'm bored. I am going to barricade this dude in. And then I'm going to take about a week off from work. And every day I'm going to be in this dude's face. And I'm going to remind this dude. And I'm going to tell him stories. I'm going to show him pictures. I'm going to show him inside the prisons. I'm going to bring my boy to a prison. Anything I could do to get through to him, to let him know that this is wrong. I'm going to make his life hell as long as I can. Because if I don't make his life hell, guess what? He going to have hell when he get in that prison house. So, and everybody talk ish about Joe Jackson. Joe Jackson made the Jackson 5 and made all of the success of Michael Jackson because through strict discipline of a black man. And that's what our society's missing, is strong black men who put the fear of God in their children and consistently follow up with that. Not just have one speech. Every day you got to call, what's going on with you, man? I need to know what's going on. Where were you? How was your day today? What happened to you, man? What's happening? Tell me what. And that's what black kids need. Black kids need consistency. They need a consistent parent in their life, constantly checking on them, asking them what they're going on, and helping them get through their struggles. 70% of our black boys out there, they have to grow up by their damn self. And if they grow up and they learn stupid lessons from other dumb brothers who made the same mistakes that the brothers before them made, because they didn't have nobody rational, somebody that had been through things, somebody that understands credit scores, understands savings, and you get out the hood. Listen, you can get real estate. You can do these things. You can get the things that you want in life. You don't have to rely on stupid crap like this. Okay? Play on, sorry.
Picture here on your screen, you can see they are all holding guns here. We normally do not air pictures like this, but police are hoping someone watching will recognize them. If you do, you are asked to call the Homicide Division of the St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department or Crime Stoppers at the number there on your screen. It's 1-866-371-TIPS. And remember, all pieces of information and tips can remain anonymous.
So pause, without getting too much into it. I think that they broke some laws. You're not supposed to show the face of a juvenile without the parental permission. And I think there's a case that they may have, because you will not see that with a white child. And those of you who are watching the show, you can research to find out, is it legal in the state of Missouri to show a child? And maybe this is special. Maybe I'm wrong, but I believe that they're doing that. That is not supposed to do that, and I believe that the parents have to challenge that, because especially if they did, if they were just stupid enough to pose with guns. How do we even know that they're real guns? But the point is that they're stupid enough. The person that took that picture is stupid enough to actually post that on social media. All right.
Hey, to your point. Go ahead. To your point about the lack of a father being in their lives, right? There was we played the video a while back on the show. There was a father that caught slack for slapping his son upside the head on live, because he actually did the same thing. Yeah. He was on a live video with a gun with his little friends, and he remember the father told his friend, "Y'all roll up and come save him now. Come get him now." And the father caught slack for actually being the father.
Because that's what they do. They shame fathers for doing what Cap said that he would do, for doing what the brother on the video said that he did. They shame us into being docile fathers. A lot of times, a lot of brothers, and I find that out here in New Orleans, a lot of these little dudes doing crimes, they come from a two-parent household. Their father is right there. But they go to public school, and they listen to their friends, and they watch what's on television, and their heroes are these dumb rappers that be posing in these videos with guns and all of that stuff, mimicking a lifestyle that they know nothing about, and they end up paying the ultimate price, either dead or they're going to be like their other brother, picking cotton for the rest of their life, getting whooped by another brother.
A prime example of that is a multi-millionaire by the name of Ja Morant comes from a two-parent home, wants to play little thug on the internet, and got suspended for 25 games. Now he ain't making no money.
Listen, y'all, and so we remember the first half of the show is about this sick world. Now, let's go to number 2, because what's going on in this country, y'all saw Juneteenth. There were an incredible number of mass shootings just over the weekend of Juneteenth. We were in Monroe, Louisiana, I believe. So this is this is a TikTok video, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, YouTube, short YouTube video. So this guy basically gives a good summary of 2023 in the amount of mass shootings that have happened. And by the way, we're only halfway through the year, a little bit more than halfway through the year, right? Listen to the staggering statistics that I had to watch. I said, and this guy, this is legitimate. Y'all gonna be shocked if you don't know this already. Play.
2023 is the worst year for mass shootings in America for at least a decade. More incidents, more injuries, and more deaths. A mass shooting is one where 4 or more people are killed or injured. 10 years ago, there were 90 mass shootings in the first 5 months of the year. So far this year, 263. So why is this happening? Well, for gun advocates, there's a simple explanation.
Mental illness and hatred pulls the trigger.
But it's a lot more complicated than that. The majority of active shooter incidents involve people without a mental health diagnosis. One study found that 9 in 10 people who carried out mass casualty attacks had personal issues in the lead up to that event.
So the common consensus is that, oh, he must be schizophrenic. This person must be that, must have a mental disability. And please, by all means, research this. But a lot of these people are able to get driver's license, hold down jobs. To hold down a job, to have a driver's license, to be able to function as an adult in the society means you have a certain amount of mental clarity. And that's what they're finding, that a lot of these people that do this, they're just fed up with society. And they go on these binges. Why? Because look in the last 30 years, look at your video games. Look at the culture of violence. When you go to a movie, look how many, the guy shoots up, hit one banana clip and he shot 400 rounds. It's like, it's a culture of kill or be killed. That's what's pushed in America. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's true. A lot of these video games, these what they call them, first-person shooter games or whatever, they're too real. They're way too real. That's why the brother that did not the brother, but the Edomite that did the shooting in Buffalo, that was like a video game.
Right.
That was like a video game. He had the camera right here. Everybody he was just walking through, literally killing people. But the people watching, they're desensitized to it because it's just like a video game. You know what I'm saying? They do this stuff, and with white folks, they say, "Oh, he must have had a mental disorder." But with black people, we super predators.
Hey, real quick, we'll let that play out and then jump to number 7 because we got some statistics from Forbes magazine. That he said 250 something, but it's actually, as of today, it's actually over 300. 300 mass shootings in the U.S. Y'all, listen, we are living in a truly sick, twisted world, okay? And particularly in the United States of America, play.
Divorce or health complications. But these issues affect people the world over. So what makes America different? Well, it's the guns. Almost half of all civilian-owned firearms in the world are found here in America. That's nearly 400 million guns. And for reference, there's only about 330 million people who live in America. 2023 is...
All right, go ahead.
They go back to the numbers. They missed that. Did you hear the numbers? It went right over everybody's head. That's belt-fed ammo. I don't know what the hell you need that for. That's military grade right there. Just look real quick. Go back to the numbers so I can tell you how many guns and how many people got them.
That's nearly 400 million guns. And for reference, there's only about 330 million people who live in America.
So 330. And how many millions of guns? So pretty much
about 70 million more guns than people.
There you go.
And that means that if it's, let's say there's 330 million people, that means that there's a gun for every senior citizen, every adult, male and woman, and every baby and every child. And then, like you said, Mako, 70 million additional guns. It is a problem with the people that are pulling the triggers, but you don't. If you look at the world statistics, you do not have any mass shootings on the level that you have in the United States. It's not even close. Some people were asking Africa, hey, why wouldn't you like to move to America? And it's common knowledge. Why would I move to a place where you can walk into the mall and they'll just shoot you? So let's check out these Forbes. We're going to do a little bit of reading. Why are we going over this? Because we are living in a sick world. Okay, play. Read, excuse me.
More than 300 U.S. mass shootings recorded halfway into 2023. This year is on pace to be deadliest ever.
So when that YouTube video that we just listened to, it said about 250. So within, and that's a little less than a month old. So they're averaging, if you take 300 and divide it by 6, right? 300 divided by 6 is about 50. So do y'all understand that that's 50 mass shootings a month in this country? Y'all don't understand.
With all of those months having 2 a day.
Right. Damn near. Damn near. It's crazy. You gotta really understand. And this is the home of the free and the brave, the home of democracy, where we, as the United States, we push our morals on the rest of the world. Meanwhile, we've got things like this happening. Read on.
More than 300 mass shootings have occurred across the country this year, according to data compiled by the Gun Violence Archive.
So you might think, well, these brothers here just go ahead and go look at the Gun Violence Archive and check the data for yourself. Okay, read on.
As 2023 remains on pace to become the deadliest year for mass shootings in recent history.
Right.
The U.S. has reported 311 mass shootings in 2023.
Scroll back up because I want to see the date of this article. I believe it's June 19th. So this article is a little more than a week old. And if you actually click on up to June 29th, it has grown in the last 11 days. There have been, I think, another 20-something more in the last 11 days. It's crazy. Okay. Matter of fact, there was 2 this week. I got a video of one. Read the key points again. We're flying, y'all.
The U.S. has reported 311 mass shootings in 2023 as of early Monday morning, according to Gun Violence Archive. The total number of mass shootings crossed the 300 mark